Morning, we say Yud Tes it's Rosh Hashanah of Chassidus, as you all know. Yeah, Kislev. Today is the day the Alter Rebbe was liberated from his Tsarist imprisonment in 1798. So I want to address today two things. First of all, briefly, why this happens in the month of Kislev and the significance of the 19th of Kislev. Not only the Alter Rebbe's liberation, which is Rosh Hashanah of Chassidus, Chabad Chassidus, had, God forbid, Chas v'shalom happened, what was intended, it's unimaginable, it's not possible, but there will be no Chabad Chassidus and nothing. So it happens in the month of Kislev, it's profoundly significant. But not only Alter Rebbe, but our Rebbe, without going through the list, of 5 or 6 pivotal events in our Rebbe's life and his leadership all occur in the month of Kislev. So the connection to Kislev, I'm going to say very briefly, is this. Number one, the connection to Hanukkah. Hanukkah is about illuminating the darkness. It's in the same month of Hanukkah, just before, days before, illuminating the world outside. That's what the mandate of Chassidus, of Torah, is, to illuminate the world. Number one. Number two, it's about oil. Oil is a metaphor. Oil and wine are both metaphors for the deeper dimension of Torah. Yayin, secrets. Yayin is the numerical value of sod, but oil is the deeper of the deeper. Nishmasa le nishmasa. It's the soul of Torah. Oil floats upon all liquids, even above wine, and all organic matter, when it breaks down to oil, petroleum. It doesn't go further than that. It's the core essence of all living entities is oil. So Chassidus is not just another level of Torah, but as we may learn and have learned, it's the essence level. The connection to the month of Kislev is that Kislev is the third month after Tishrei. Now, the third month, as you know, after Nisan is the giving of the Torah Sivan. You also know the two beginnings to the year. Nisan is the beginning of the month, and Tishrei Nisan is the first month of the year, month number 1, but Tishrei is the beginning of the year, month number 7. Now, why do we have two beginnings? So the deeper answer is because there are two stages in the relationship with Hashem. The first stage is from above to below, God choosing us, as it were, and then there has to be from below to above, us choosing God. So Nisan, Sivan, God comes down, takes us out of Egypt and gives us the Torah, is all God's choice of us, heaven meeting earth. It happens in the third month, Sivan, Shavuos, as the Gemara says, emphasizing the number 3 when it comes to giving of the Torah. Blessed be the Almosif one who gave a 3-part Torah to 3-part people, to a third born on the third day of separation on Shavuos. Why number 3? Because 3 represents fusion. 1 is 1, 2 is division, and 3 is harmony. Like Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov harmonize both. Tiferes, beauty. So heaven and earth meet, Dafka, on the third month, because after the revelation from above, because 3 represents already the 2 becoming 1. However, when it's Nisan time, it's all happening from above to below. God comes down, brings us out, God reveals himself at Sinai, but then becomes Tishrei. Tishrei is we coronate God. It's all about God making king. It's all from below to above. The whole Avodah of Tishrei, Rosh Hashanah, and thereafter. And then, so 3 months later, which is Kislev, is the culmination of heaven and earth. But this way, it's earth touching heaven. So what Chassidus basically is bringing Mount Sinai. Every Maimon you learn is at Sinai, but not Hashem is revealing to you. You are there through your study, through your effort from below to above, through learning in intellect, the mind, Chachma, Bin Das, and the heart is engaged and is experienced and facing Atzmos, Davish himself, which is revealed at Sinai. We discover in Chassidus through our effort, through our understanding, from below to above. So therefore, 3 months after the whole service, stage number 2, from below to above, that's when all the Rosh Hashanah of Chassidus and so many events in the Rebbe's life happen in Kislev, because the third month, symbolizing fusion. But which direction is that? Man discovering and reaching out to Hashem, or man choosing Hashem, us coronating God and establishing a relationship and experiencing him and seeing him. We're doing this through our effort, learning the pages of the Maimer and toiling in prayer, etc. It's all from below to above. Clear? So that's the significance of Kislev. Now the question is the 19th of Kislev. 19? Whoever heard of 19? 18. Yesterday we finished Tanya, Chai Kislev. We know 18, we know 36. 10 is the 10 commandments, the 10 divine attributes. Even 20 is significant. 5 books of the Torah, 6 books of the Mishnah. 19, where's 19? So it turns out, my dear friends, after a little discovery, 19 is very significant. So I sent you a text. I want you to look at the Friday at 5, and you see what I sent you. We'll begin our journey. I hope to cover everything now, at least basically. This could be discussed for many, many weeks, friends, what we're going to touch on now. Okay. So you can see there that I sent you, I'll get it up. Yud Tes Kislev, the 9th of Kislev. So do the math, friends. Chava is the first woman. Eve. Ches is 8, and Vav is 6, and Hey in 5 is 19. So Chava is B'Gematria Yud Tes. What's the significance? I'll soon explain. Let's put it on the table right now. And then we'll get to it. So we look at the next line just to see what I've done there very quickly. I'm going to say it and we'll explain it. God's holiest name, Yud Ke Vav Ke. Now, every letter is a word. So just the Yud, the Hey, the Vav, and Hey equals 26. But if you spell out the name, you get a different number. And there's different ways to spell Yud Ke Vav Ke. The Yud is always the same, Yud Vav Daled. But the Hey can be spelled 3 ways. Hey Aleph, Hey, or Hey Yud. And Vav could be spelled Vav Aleph Vav or Vav Yud Vav. So these different combinations, friends, of what's called the milui, how we fill out the name, yields obviously different numbers at the end. So you may be familiar, there's different names of God called Shem Ayin Beis, the name 72, Samach Gimel 63. There's a Shem Mem Hey 45, Shem Nun Beis, Shem Ban 52. Where these numbers come from? The different spelling. Now, if the Aleph, as we did here, is the filler letter, so Hey is spelled Hey Aleph, and Vav is Vav Aleph Vav, and Hey is Hey Aleph, that's the middle letter, not a Yud in the middle, or repeating the letter. Then, I want you to add up the milui, the filling letters. I bolded the Yud, the Hey, and the Vav, and but you've got to add up the way it spells out fully. You add it up, it's going to be 19, 6 and 4, and 1 and 1 and 6 and 1, 19. Shema. So this name of God with the filling letter dominates is the Aleph. Hey Aleph, Vav Aleph Vav. Hey Aleph, this adds up to 19. That's significant. And one more 19. Another 19, which actually appears in the first mitzvah of the Torah. The first mitzvah of the Torah. What's the first commandment of the Torah? Was to establish the Jewish calendar. This was given while it's yet in Egypt, and Hashem tells them how the Jewish calendar commands Moishe how it should work. It's going to be a lunar calendar, follows the cycle of the moon. 12 months makes a lunar year. However, we were commanded then and then that the Exodus, that's why this month is month number 1 for you, it's because the birth of the Jewish people, has to always fall in the spring, which means you're going to have to adjust the calendar to align with the cycle of the sun, the solar calendar, the Gregorian calendar, which this year, for example, we did adding a month. Every 2-3 years, we have to add a month. Why? Because a lunar year is 354 days. Half the months will be 6 months, half the month will be 30, half the months will be 29 days, half the months will be 30, because the month is 29 and a half and a fraction. You can't start a month in the middle of the day, the Torah says. It's got to be a full day. So on average, it's 6 and 6, do the math, 354, which is 11 days behind the solar year, which is approximately 365 days. We keep on falling back against the backdrop of the seasons. So every 2 or 3 months, we have to add, every 2 or 3 years, an extra 30 days to bring it to sync. Overall, Pesach is always the spring, Rosh Hashanah is always the fall. Now, here's the thing. Today, friends, today's the 19th of Kislev Friday. It's also a secular date. What day is it? Today is the 20th of December. In 19 years from now, it's going to be the same. Every 19 years, sometimes it's a day off, but overall, on average, every 19 years, all 3 things collide. It'll be the same day of the week, be the same Gregorian date, solar date, and the same lunar date. So what does 19 represent, or is, in the cycle of time? And the first mitzvah that we're given in the entire Torah, it is the alignment of sun and moon. Now to explain the significance, and therefore that we point out these three things about 19. We'll talk about Chava, and we'll try and get to the Hashem's name if we can. What the 19th of Kislev. Let's talk about Chava. Who is Chava? Chava is the mother. She's the first woman. She's the last creation of God. Now, God is created last, right? Ask our sages. You would have thought we should be created first. So the answer to why we created last really depends on our choice. Hashem gave us free choice, free will, intelligence. Last can mean the most elevated, like the king who makes a banquet and does all this elaborate preparation. When it's all done, he invites his beloved guest. All last can mean least, because we're the only creature, God's creation, that can sin. Animals can't sin, plants can't sin, angels can't sin. If we sin, we're worse than the lowest creature. Of course, in the end, we're going to use our free choice to shuvah and be the pinnacle. But I'm asking, who's the pinnacle of the pinnacle? Who is the final creation of creation? Eve, the woman, who brings in the great Shabbos. So what is the essence of all this? So first explain, I'm going to move very quickly because there's so much information and very deep, and try at least give it over succinctly the point. The difference between men and women basically goes back to the beginning in the Garden of Eden. Adam comes from the earth. God built him up. Therefore, a guy, every male has this fear he's going to collapse. Every male needs to support, to prop himself up, to justify his existence. The things he performs and achieves, money, sports, religion, he's a scholar, he needs a uniform, and he's constantly identifying accomplishment. Guy is a man is by nature goal-orientated. You play a game, it's to win. The woman watches the game. When it's just spending time with your friends, it's sharing. No, for the guy, he's not sharing. Everything is purpose, goal-orientated, because otherwise, what's my value? I've accomplished something for somebody. So a guy needs to be complimented constantly by the things he does. A woman doesn't have that need. Chava does not come from the earth. She doesn't have this feeling she has to always justify existence by performing something. How does she come into the world? She comes from Adam. So what's her intrinsic need? She wants to share herself with her soulmate, with her children. So guys connect by shared activities. Women connect by sharing themselves. Or as we always say in MTC, men do, women are. Shabbos is a female day. It's the bride, it's the queen, not the groom, not the king. And who brings Shabbos into the world? The woman. Because Shabbos is about a day of being. The whole week we are performing. But Shabbos is a day of sharing with husband and wife, family, community, at a simple level. So what does all got to do with Chassidus? Up until Chassidus, and then we'll get to the sun and the moon, the alignment, because the moon is feminine, the sun is male. And every 19 years, they line up perfectly. So let's explain in brief words what's one of the maybe the essential revelations of Chassidus. Until Chassidus, Yiddishkeit was a male thing, meaning it's about performance. You do mitzvahs, you get rewarded. The next world, this world. You don't sin because there's a consequence. You're going to be punished. The next world, this world. And that's all the classic sources. Hashem doesn't need our mitzvahs. If we look to the quotes once from Medrash and Psukim and Mishnah, it's all, the Tzaref Esabris is all for us, to refine us, to elevate us. We should earn a share in the hereafter. That's the bottom line. And God is unaffected. He can't be affected. Hashem is perfect and infinite. The Torah says Hashem is upset. Hashem smiles. Hashem has nachas. Referring to the sacrifices, and our sages said Rashi brings it means nachas ruch lefanai. It's a pleasure, says God, before me that I said, and you did what I told you. That means God's affected. No. So the classic answer till now is chas v'shalom. He's just projecting it to motivate us, like a professional teacher will show the children that he's upset or he's happy. He doesn't take it personally. He's want to motivate the kids. That was still Chassidus. Now, the Rabbi came along and said that's true, but that's true of God's divine manifestation of the Eir Ein Sof. And the Hashem Leishon Nisi. God's unaffected. But God's essence, Atzmos, the essence, The Eibishter is higher than perfect. The Eibishter is higher than infinite. And God chose and decided, free choice, no reason, to be affected. So when the Torah says, nachas ruach, nachas ruach.
Sorry. I love you.
I just muted you. When you want to speak, unmute yourself. Please. So, Chassidus revealed, pulling back the last mask on Hashem, and the essence of Hashem, which is beyond God's name. Ato, you, beyond all description. Anoichi, the opening word, I that I am, said the Zoya, that's higher than Leizram, Leibishim, Bishim Kos, higher than Yud Kevov, Kelikim. God's essence, God decided, I have a need, a craving. This alva is a craving. I have a need that I want you to fulfill. What's that need? That you make this world a home. As our sages say, to make to this world a home, heaven on earth, huge revolution. The purpose is here, not there. And moreover, what's the whole point of it all? Because God has chosen to desire that we make a world for him. And what does making a world for him a home mean? The Rebbe explains. What's the point of a home? To share yourself with your soulmate. That's the point of your home. It's not the home itself. It's that you can be you, complete and whole with your soulmate and your children, which are also your soulmates. That's the ultimate. And that's Chava. The woman innately, and her whole identity is being, is sharing. You are or not Jewish as your mother. Your father is, how do you perform Jewish? Your father is, how do you perform Jewishly? Kohen, Levi, Yisrael. Being, are you? Who are you? That's feminine. That's how we're all born feminine. The fetus is feminine fundamentally. The male chromosomes emerge later. Because first you are, and then you perform. So before Mashiach comes, Chassidus revealed that it's all about a relationship with God. This is what God desires. Mitzvahs are, God says, you're everything to me. And just like in marriage, what's in marriage? Before they were born, the two souls were the one in heaven. Leave good enough alone. Why come down here? And find each other and all the challenges and tribulations? No. Because when you come down here and you overcome all of the challenges and you connect even physically and even in the small details of life, then you're really one. That's true. That's a true expression of being one. So the neshama, the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, is part of the Eibishter Chelik HaMamash. That's rooted in the essence of Hashem. Hashem desires that our oneness should be revealed down here as the neshama comes into a body. And there we should be one in the deepest way, in the details of our life, because the marriage is all the details, not so much the big moments. Of course, an anniversary and a birthday you have to acknowledge. Rosh Hashanah Kippur is very important. But what God is looking for is the minutiae, the casual conversation. That's where you see a husband and wife. In the small interaction. Oh, only a husband and wife talk like this. That he only talks to like this. He has this look only for her. In the smallest things. That's why Chassidus put emphasis on observing mitzvahs, not just the basic, but the nuance, the hiddur, because that's what makes your home the home. It's the decoration of your home, where everything is. That you have a bathroom and a toilet and a sink and an oven and a door. Every home, that's a shelter. Makes it your home is the details. That reflects you, your wife, your children. So Chassidus, before Mashiach comes, it revealed it's all about a relationship with Hashem. It all comes down, therefore, to the nuance. So Chava, Yud Tes 19, because the end before Mashiach comes, it's revealed that it's all about a relationship with God being one in the deepest way, and to enter into the great Shabbos. The woman lights Shabbos candles, she brings it into the world. Shabbos is sharing yourself with Hashem, and by extension, your soulmates in the deepest way, becoming one. In the deepest way, connecting and embracing the body. Hashem wants the body to be part of this. And what's the world? The world is the home. The whole world should, like it reflects the soulmates, the world should glimmer and reflect that we are one with God, which is why the world's obsessed with the Jew. Because the world deeply knows it's the home that needs to reflect the Jew's relationship with God. And if we're not doing that, then they don't know who they are. They don't have their place in the world. There is no world. The world has to be a home that reflects God and the Jewish people. And the whole world is the symphony or the home that sparkles and contributes and is part of that union. Yisrael Malka Bil Chadoyi, Yidden and the Eibishter. And that's their obsession with us. And explains a million things about what they're saying to us. And always did, and especially now. about the absolute uniqueness of the Jew, and that we're all connected and we're all otherworldly. We don't belong. We don't. We're here to reveal godliness in the world. And when godliness is revealed in the world and God is here, then we're welcome. And in the process of doing so, then you'll understand us. Not then, now. So this explains why 19, Chava. That's the whole point. Is the great Shabbos. Is the relationship. Is sharing myself with Hashem in the deepest way, because for Hashem, I am everything and you're everything and everybody is everything. I want to be part of your life down to the share yourself with me as I want to share me, my essence with you in everything. And dafka in the small details that embrace that your body's part of, where you eat, sleep, drink, live, love, in all of its details. That's why all these commandments and our sages say, who is free? Who is a free person? Who is him? That's freedom. It's obligation after obligation after obligation. What does it mean, freedom? What does freedom mean? Freedom means liberate who you are. You and I, says God, are one in essence. Liberated. I want it to be expressed. It should embrace every part of who you are. That's what the mitzvahs are. The mitzvahs liberate. They express our essential oneness with Hashem in every detail of the body, the life, and the world, and bring that to the world. The world's waiting for that. That's the home that should reflect that. And that explains also every 19 years, everything lines up. The sun and the moon. The sun is male, the moon is female. The moon receives the light from the sun, and the sun provides the male in creation of life, in their union. The seed she receives, develops. The woman's cycle is literally a monthly cycle, and it's affected by the lunar cycle. So every 19 years it lines up. It means that the male, the sun, connects directly face to face with the moon, that the male learns that it's not about, this is what this came to reveal. It's not about your reward and your growth and your perfection. It's about a relationship with Hashem, and Hashem wants you to grow, so you grow. He wants you to express it, everything, so you learn. But it's all, the core of it is a relationship with God, God's desire for you. The sun and the moon align. The day of the week, everything lines up in perfect harmony, representing what? The fulfillment of Hashem's purpose. That our oneness with God, this relationship pervade and be revealed in all of existence, in time and in space, sun and moon, male, female, all aligned. The male learning this truth by connecting and aligning with the female, which is the feminine dimension of the Chassidus, is the feminine dimension of Torah, the being. We get to know who God is. The Talmud is what God said, commandments. Talmud is male, performance. Chassidus is the female, but who are you? Reveals it's all the relation, the connection to Hashem. Hence the 19th of Kislev. And this explains many things. Al Rebbe's name, Shneir Zalman. So Shneir is two lights, sun and the moon. Revealed aspect of Torah, the inner, the feminine aspect of Torah. Torah Shebiksav, Torah Shebapeh, it's a similar model. Written law, oral law. Written law is male, oral law is female. Develops. Oral law, we internalize the commandment. Otherwise, it's just commandments, words. Same model. Shneir, two lights. And Zalman. Zalman is Lizman. Same words as Lizman Azeh. We've got to bring time. Time is the most finite component. Everything's bound by time. It defines the limitations of this world is time, which is why the first calendar is all about time. I mean, the first mitzvah is all about sanctifying time, because time is the whole grid upon which everything, which makes this world a finite existence. And it's still not understood what time is at its core. But Zalman is Lizman, because we're bringing down this connection to Hashem in the limit, expressing it in every moment of our lives, every detail of our lives. That's a relationship. One in everything. So Shneir Zalman. So we just touched upon it. Give us an idea of the divine providence. I'm just going to add one more thing. What we're seeing is divine providence. Kislev, why the month of Kislev, the 19th of Kislev, the Alter Rebbe's name, Shneir Zalman. It goes further. Many other details all become, that's actually one of the great revelations of Chassidus. In fact, I'll conclude with this, one of the points of contention was, Baal Shem Tov came along and said, everything's divine providence. And the establishment said, no, it's not true. The Rambam clearly in Guide for the Perplexed, identifies with 8 levels of divine providence. He says the tzaddik, his life, holy people, Hashem's directly involved in their lives. The wicked, and he gives all kinds of levels. The wicked are even lower than nature. The wicked God casts away to the whims of nature. You turn your back on God, God then turns your back on you. And the Baal Shem Tov says, and he says animals and plant life. No, it's only the higher forms of life, says the Rambam, Maimonides, that divine God's actively involved. And here comes the Baal Shem Tov, Hashgacha Pratis, divine providence, which the whole world has embraced. Is everything, so, contradiction. So the Mittel Rebbe, second of Chabad, explains it's not a contradiction at all, and the Rebbe elaborates. The Rambam is speaking about where godliness is revealed, where it's obvious. Holy places, holy people. A simple question, God's everywhere. What makes one place holier than the other, or a certain time, or a certain object? Answer is, everywhere else God's there, but concealed. Here is revealed, transparent, you can see. That's what the Rambam says. By the tzaddik, you see the hand of God in everything that he does. Yosef, Ish Matzliach, we're reading it now. Whatever he touched, you could see God's providence, one way or another. The wicked, God is terribly concealed. You don't see it, but Hashem is governing every detail of their lives. No less than the greatest tzaddik. It's a question of revealed or concealed. So I'm just saying this at the end now. It's one of the big revelations of Chassidus. So when it comes to holy matters, it's very obvious. You just look, you can see 19th Kislev. Sounds like it's just, okay, it happened. We probe it deep, we see how very significant every detail of the Torah is, what happens to a tzaddik. Everything is transparently, we can see the hand of God. And the truth is, it's the truth of everything. But there you have to dig a lot deeper. You may need teshuvah to discover where God is there. And that's what teshuvah actually is. The person does teshuvah, then retroactively, that's why this sin happened. That's where God was, because this sin has brought me to a closer connection to you. Even that, God is there, and as part of the plan will be revealed later in Shuvah. At any rate, we conclude with Good Yom Tov, as we wish each other on Yud Tes Kislev. And what's the takeaway? The takeaway is Hashem craves and needs and wants, because he chose to, a relationship with you and me in every aspect of our life. It should be seen, I'm a Yid and I'm one with God in the most trivial, small things. But that's a Yid. That's how a Jew talks. That's how a Jew behaves. That's how a Jew reacts. We see godliness in every aspect of his life. That's what Hashem wants. Like a marriage. A guy is truly married, you can look the way he behaves, even you don't see the wife. Just when he interacts with everybody else, he's married. There's a connection he has. He's not available to everybody like he's available to his wife. It's different. And Hashem wants us to, likewise, not available to nonsense. I'm not caught up in that. I'm a Jew, and I'm going to bring that godliness there, and you will celebrate and reflect it. That's the world being a home for God. Good Yom Tov, everybody. Good Shabbos. And Beis Hashem will continue. Thanks all for joining.